Are you ready? What?
I got something to say.
What is going on, people? Happy Tuesday. Is me flying solo tonight, unfortunately. Todd's got a family member. His mother was actually admitted to the hospital today, so he's not going to be joining us tonight. So he sends his best. I'm going to take us through tonight. Of course, we're going to have a little help from my friends because, you know, that's kind of how I roll when these things happen solo. But cheers, everybody. Thank you guys. For those of you who hung out with us this weekend, we had a blast. We're going to recap a little bit about that. We got some information on some picks coming fast and furious, coming your way. And right now I'm watching the Birds get beat 4-0 in New York. Hopefully that's going to change pretty soon too. But in the meantime, speaking of this weekend, I'm going to pull up a couple of my friends who were able to join me this weekend. Hopefully they had as much of a good time as I did. So, Chris, what's going on, my friend? And Joe, what's going on?
Good evening, everyone.
What's happening?
Not much.
Good evening.
Watching the game too, and then join the stream.
Well, good. I'm glad some of you guys may be filtering over from. I know My Bourbon Journey had David Souza on tonight. They're doing their Corbin Cash pick. Ours is being dumped next week. Our hazmat, the 9.5-year rye, has been bottled, and the hazmat is going to be bottled next week, which is awesome. So we'll be giving you some updates on that soon. But that's, if you guys, I can't wait for y'all to try that. I was telling Chris earlier, it's like it's a massive hitter. It's gonna be awesome. So,
is there a label for that, Andy?
I got both labels are in the works, and you are going to like them very much, Joe. I can almost guarantee you. All right, don't worry. If you like the high and rye, I think you're gonna dig these two even more, which would be great. So, but yeah. So anyway. Cheers to everybody filtering in. Hey, let's chat. I did not have time, man. I'm telling you, I was tired after this weekend. It was a great weekend though. But Chris, Joe, thoughts? What are your thoughts on this weekend? You guys enjoy yourselves?
Well, yeah, I showed up. I only showed up on Saturday and showed up a little late. But my impression, and I've been to a few of these, you guys went above and beyond, and especially since it cost Joe and I nothing. Cost the people going, other than it didn't cost us anything, obviously, because we're local. I mean, but getting airfare and hotel or driving, gas money, that costs something. But to walk in the door and not have to pay anything and be treated like that, I think was pretty amazing. Plus, it was a full days event, from going to Old Line first, then around the corner to the brewery, and then to dinner. It was a great event. Well, class act, you guys are.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it didn't cost me anything except for this rum that I bought and this saltines cast that I bought, and a couple dollars to a couple squeegee kids, and then the star of the show was obviously the food truck. Oh, just
many feet,
it was
man.
Great
yeah.
Beef.
Well,
what the hell did I have? A beef? What? I don't even know. It was good.
Well, when you can get meat on a stick in different varieties, you can't beat that. You can't beat. Actually, the beer at Monument was great too. So it was kind of cool to go over to the brewery afterwards, hang out there. Tim Cornet was from Michigan. It was great. So when Chris was there, we went to Jimmy's Seafood, kind of nightcap the whole thing, and because they were looking for an authentic experience of like Baltimore. So we did steamed crabs there, and watching guys from Sean from Whiskey Wars picking crabs, and Tim Cornet. It was really awesome. Christopher Dave and I were debating about the correct way to do it, knowing that everybody picks crabs differently. And I guarantee the way you do it, Joe, is not the way Chris does, not the way I do it. It's a Baltimore thing. But yeah, we had a blast. It was a lot of fun. It was great.
Yeah, Sean probably spent more on crabs than he does his rent.
And by the way, Patreons, if the link is up, if you guys want to hop up on stream, I put the link in Patreon for you guys, especially if you guys are at the event. Hop up. If you just want to pop up and say hi, feel free. We're not going to go too incredibly long tonight. Like I said, Todd's not able to join us tonight, so I'm thinking about him, sending prayers his way. But
Ben is right. Ben's probably the only guy that shows up to a meetup and Uber Eats Popeye's chicken. I have to give it to him. It looked good. Chicken looked good.
It was a substantial order too. It was because I was able to get a biscuit to soak up some of the alcohol. But yeah, he did a good job. He and Sean from Whiskey Wars, they did some damage to that Popeyes. It was good.
Funny story about the Popeyes. Somehow that ended up at my house. What wasn't eaten. And my 16-year-old comes into my office and he goes, "Dad, who's Popeyes in the fridge?" And I go, "What?" And I look and go, "Oh, I think that was Ben and Sean's." He goes, "Was anyone eating?" I go, "It's all yours." Walk in the kitchen, he's just chowing down on the rest of it. I have no idea how much was in there. I just grabbed it so it wasn't left at the brewery. So Ben, from my son, he enjoyed your Popeyes very much.
Yeah, and Ben got straight to the drive-thru. He said so. And I know exactly where that is. It's over by Hopkins. He went to the drive. That's the only Popeyes around there. Yeah, but
okay.
Chris is funny. He's like, my kids will eat it. He's like, if it's just, he's the same thing with a couple. We had a couple of the leftover like crab stickers and stuff like that from Jimmy's like, my kids will eat it. It's a joy of having teenage boys. That's a beautiful thing. You know, they'll eat it. They'll be fine. They're scavengers. So, but
human garbage disposals. That's what you call them.
But so for those of you who weren't at the event, we did have a great time. We ended up with about 23 Patreon members getting together and picking what we think is an absolutely beautiful single barrel. We had 5 different offerings. We had the 2 American single malts that were unfinished, and then we had 3 finished whiskeys. They were all blinded. We didn't let anybody know what they were until the votes were in and cast. And by the way, Joe, I do have a video of you taping me and Todd deliberating on the voting system, which I'm sure we'll play at some point.
Comedic gold. I should have kept it running.
You should have kept it running. The anguish on my face as he kept going, you could see it mounting more, and I saw the smile on yours, like the Grinch who stole Christmas, start to curl up on the side. Like, that's it, Joe. Cut the camera. So it was with some other choice words that were probably there. But yeah, so it was close. There was a Sauternes finish cast for the finish. There was a VDN, which was really nice, and then there was a port finish. And the 8-year, which is the oldest they had there, 128 proof single malt came out as the winner with the most first place votes. And Sauternes was close, but no cigar. But the nice thing is there was a Sauternes bottle there that you could actually bottle that day. So a lot of people walked out with their top 2, which is really cool. Yeah, Joe got one too. I'll put that up. So bottle your own whiskey right there. It was a really cool event. You got some rum, got some whiskey. But I think it changed a lot of people's minds on American single malt. They do a great job there. And all 5 whiskeys were really good. I would have been happy to put my name on any of them. So it was fantastic. It was really, really good.
If you're in the chat and you were there, what do you think? What did you think about the single malts? Did it change your mind? That's what I'm wondering.
It was interesting. David S. Todd's at his mom was taken to the hospital, so he is actually with her tonight. That's why I'm running solo, just trying to run the chat at the same time. But go ahead, Joe.
No, I was just saying, anybody in the chat who was there, did having a single malt from Old Line, did it change your mind on what you thought about it? What do you think?
As people are putting that in the chat, I'll have to say, as their single malts get older, at least the stuff from the Midwest is getting better. And I know they're got some barrels that they're going to be sitting on, and they're going to keep on getting older and older and older. I was pleasantly surprised because I haven't had. Last time I was there, maybe it was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. So when I tasted the first sample, I was like, okay, this is kind of what I remember. Then when we got to that second sample, which was the unfinished, I was blown away. I was like, this is the first sip is amazing. And that actually was my first place vote.
Yeah. And it almost had a bit of a finished feel to it at first. Like there was a lot of people who thought is this finished? Is this not finished? Really, really nice. It does not drink. It's dangerously smooth for being 128 proof. That number 4 alligator chart's got really nice, like it's a great 4A for bourbon and rye drinkers. I think in American single malt. I think they're really gonna love this pick. And I love the label already. I sent Chris a sneak preview of the label. So don't know the turnaround yet. We got to figure out the yield and how we're going to release it. Because on top of that, and Still Austin's just sitting there just like on the 1 yard line. We're ready for that thing to come over here. So we've got that, and then Corbin Cash getting dumped next week. So do we want the log jam coming? No, sometimes it's out of your control when you're dealing with distilleries and shipping and stuff like that. But I can tell you all these things are just absolutely phenomenal. So we're really proud of the bottles that are coming, which is great. So, but yeah, good stuff, and hell of a good time. So here's another person. Let me see who's going to be joining us. Oh, never mind. Take it back.
If you can get up to Baltimore, you can get Old Line. You guys should just go there. I mean, it was a really nice place. I mean, outside they had cornhole seating outside. I beat Eric Dismarius and his friend's ass at cornhole. It was like a 2-minute game. I mean, it's 21. It was like 3 battles.
We saw you whip and tail. It was
No,
well
for everyone that's watching, Andy and I are sitting there waiting because we got winners. What do we sit there? 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, this gives a game that would never end. So they get the goddamn game over with now. We didn't even get a chance to play. We had to leave.
Sun was in my eyes. God damn it.
They were pros, and that's what happens when pros are playing cornhole, I guess. So, but yeah, speaking of people who traveled, we also had someone come, and we never held it against him, but from Massachusetts. So here is Jonathan. What's going on, man? How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I heard there was some cornhole, like every time Joe opened his mouth.
By the way, Gandy, no, the Old Line is not going to be from Sherport. Everything else will be Still Austin, and the 2 Corbin Cash releases are going to be from Sherport.
Jonathan, what was it like going to a real stadium and watching a real team win?
Wow. Yeah. Wow, yeah, because the Red Sox have been bad in my lifetime. It was pretty cool. They the Orioles are sound baseball, diving catches, stolen bases, home runs. They honestly, I couldn't have been more impressed. And the stadium was pretty cool.
Was that the first time at the stadium?
It is, yeah. It's very intimate. It almost feels like a minor league ballpark, just a little bigger. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah. Wait a minute. You said like a minor league ballpark?
It's just intimate. It's smaller. It's more, condensed. Okay. Some of the big fancy stadiums are just obnoxious.
Yeah. Eric, what's going on?
Not too much.
No, I got to tell you, Camden Yards, for anybody who comes to Baltimore, is worth the trip. It's worth it. I know we've got Fenway in the house, but I still think it's the nicest stadium in baseball.
Whoa, Fenway.
Yeah.
Eric, why don't you tell them your allegiance and all the people you brought there?
Oh, to Philly?
Yeah.
Oh, the stadium was packed full of Phillies fans.
Yeah. Our hotel we stayed at, the lobby all weekend, everyone in Philly. I must have talked to 100 people from Philly.
Well, it had been since 2017 since the two teams played together. So they were like chomping. I know that our rival's supposed to be the Nationals. No one cares about DC. No one cares about the Nationals. So when the Phillies came to town, it was like, this is actually pretty cool. Like people got excited. Plus, they're both good now. So it was fun. KJ, also awesome to meet her. She came out on Friday and Saturday. Thanks, y'all, for a great weekend. I was a fan of Old Line before, but that 8-year and Salt Turns were fantastic. It was a tough choice between the two. Yeah, those two did stand out. But yeah, really good stuff. So I cannot wait for those to drop, which will be fun.
Yeah, nice to meet you, KJ and JK.
Yeah, KJ and JK.
Yeah. Where's your other half tonight?
Todd?
Yeah.
His mom was admitted to the hospital, so I'm running solo tonight. So
oh no,
one of the rare times that I'm going solo without Todd. Actually, it's the only time. I think it's the first time I've ever gone solo. I think without Todd. So I miss the little fella, but I'm wishing his mom a speedy recovery. She's good people, so I'm hoping everything goes well.
You went live once when he was on vacation at Disney World and he couldn't help himself.
But he popped on, yeah,
and he started streaming from the fireworks in Disney World.
That's right, with no sound.
No sound.
and he was like, "Can you guys hear me?" And he's you guys hear me? And yeah, but so
Chris, that's when we were trying to do the monster giveaway, so we could pay him have to pay $1 million to mail a bunch of stuff.
That's right.
And Sarah right across the street won. I was like, couldn't we get somebody in California to mail this?
She won like 10 bottles.
I know. I had to give it all to her. It's crazy. Half of it was mine. I had to give her signed pictures of Andy and Todd. They still got to sign them.
That's right. Jay remembers too. That's not true. Last time you gave away the store. That's right. I did do one other, so I had forgotten about that. But Todd did pop in then, so that kind of didn't count as a complete stream. So we'll see.
Still scary when family's in the hospital, you know.
Yeah, no. So my prayers are with him, and hopefully everything is going okay tonight. But he said to say thank you as well as I did. It was just we had a blast. This was
you guys did a great job.
Well, it was we appreciate that, but it was fun meeting everybody. Like it was neat to get people to come out and get together. I mean, this is fun. Like I enjoy hanging out and seeing you guys, but when you spend enough time doing this to meet people and be able to shake hands in person and talk and have a beer or have a drink like that, that's really cool. So we hope to do this again. Where and when and what we're going to be doing, who knows? But I think it went well enough that we could try and do this again sometime. So it was fun. It was a good time.
I can't believe you guys got a pick done with all of our votes. That was impressive. And I found it to be incredibly difficult, with the options because all the different finish stuff was, it was like a wrestling match going on. It was a lot of different stuff.
Jonathan makes a good point. No other events that I've ever been to that were free to go to where you actually got to participate in a group pick. So I think that's pretty amazing. So kudos to you guys for that as well. Normally you go to an event, you'll pay, there's a pick there, it'll be included in the price. But nothing like we experienced on Saturday. So good job.
We gotta do it. We gotta do
the kick-ass bag I got. Kick-ass bag.
Andrew found the pen. Andrew found the pen in the back of the Volvo. He's like, "Oh my goodness, they have pens. This is mine now."
I got my lanyard hanging up. Come on, guys.
We're official. We have swag bags. We got pens and all kinds of crap. Yeah, so we're.
We want to talk whiskey, but
it's the shittiest bag in the world. There's no flat bottom to it. How the hell does it? I don't know.
It's economical. It fits in a Prius.
That's true, and again, for the price of on the house, they're not that bad. So, and what other channel would you be able to buy this while you were there? I mean,
nice.
So come on, it's Flacco's Fuel. That was
wow,
actually pretty good. Chris and I got a chance to drink that while we were waiting for Joe and Eric's cornhole match that lasted an hour and a half to finish up. So we got to drink one of those, which is pretty good.
I got to ask, did everyone on screen get a bottle of that rum?
Yeah. He stole my bag. I didn't steal your bag.
Jonathan, I did not, but I have a few old line rums already. And I need to stop buying stuff. So I did not, but
I wish I bought a case. I'm like mad at myself.
Their rum is good. Their rum is really, really good.
The finish on it is it really makes it. It's definitely different.
I was the first time I had their rum. I was at Joe help me, the place Fish Paws. I was at Fish Paws, and I thought it said old line finished in rum barrels, but I was like, I'll take a swig of that, and I'm like, wow, this is sweet, but it is good. I mean, it's like this is unbelievable. It almost tastes more like rum than whiskey. Like, that's because it's rum. I was like, I didn't know this. So it was, and I was sold ever since.
Sometime this week, that's going in some pineapple juice and some soda water just to see how it makes for a cocktail.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So here's another attendee this weekend. Came all the way from Kentucky. What's going on, Sean?
I did. Yeah, it was a blast, guys. Yeah, you were there.
I was there. No.
Yeah,
it's good. It was good stuff.
Wow, I see you're all better. That bottle looks like it's had a hurting put on it.
That's how I got better, is by drinking a lot of this last night. I'm not better. I'm still in a lot of pain, but whiskey helps. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what the shirt
Or
says.
rum in this case.
Does anyone know the answer to this question? Old Line has a couple of different. I am not as familiar with all their different styles of rum. Which one is it that you guys have there? Because Gandy Rose looking on their website to see which one they're talking. Is it?
I don't think that.
Dominican.
I don't think that one's on the website. So what they're showing on the screen was a bottle your own experience at the distillery.
Yes.
So they had 3 different single barrels that you could taste through and then bottle yourself if you wanted to. So I don't know. That is a 8-year. Correct me guys if I'm wrong, but I think it's around an 8-year.
7 to 11-year blend.
It's not Jamaican, right?
No, it's Dominican.
Dominican, finished in old line barrels, and I don't know how long. You guys probably do know, but it's finished in old line single malt barrels.
Well, let me put that
3 years, 5 months.
Yep.
And was that a $1.33? What was the proof on that? Was a pretty big proof, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 132.4.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big proof.
Wait, the best part, it was $30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing too. Yeah,
The best part was $30.
Yeah.
It says Caribbean on it, but the gal I spoke to at Old Line said it was.
And you got the bottle yourself. And you got a $10 off coupon because we attended.
See that? Got you guys a coupon, drink tickets.
Yeah,
we're never doing that again. We lost way too much money.
Yeah. We all know that Joe doesn't buy any whiskey without a coupon. So
that's goddamn true.
That is very true.
Although, you know what? Speaking of Joe, well, once I'm done this pour, I'm going to go crack my Jack Daniels from Joe.
Very good.
Yeah. You got to let us know what you think about that.
Since I got that now, my Jack 10.
I tried to steal it. Didn't work. I just thought it might have been left in the Uber again, Joe. But Andy was not in as rough shape as he was last time, so he got his bag and left. I said,
Andy's no Todd. I can tell you that. Andy's no Todd.
So what restaurant did you guys end up going to after when I peeled off to go to the O's game?
We went to Jimmy's Seafood. It's kind of a Baltimore institution, and a lot of famous people will kind of come in when they go out of town. They got pictures of wrestlers, Ravens, or Orioles, actors, actresses all on the wall. It's coming in there. It's cool, but the food's pretty good. We got steamed crabs, which Sean got to see us work our magic on, and Tim Cornet was covered in all the crab stuff, which is great seeing him do that, which is fun.
Well, I forget where I went last year for to get Maryland crabs, steamed crabs with my wife, but it was a holy mess, and it was so much work. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The sides were awesome. I think that was the first time ever in life I had one of the short bottles of Coors Banquets with it, and the yeastiness of that lager went really, really good with the crabs.
Cheap beer actually goes really well with steamed crabs, especially because of how salty it is with all the Old Bay, and so it actually really goes pretty well. So, but now we had a good time.
Sean,
what's that?
What'd you think about the crabs? You're awfully quiet.
He still got them.
If you want my honest opinion, I mean, they tasted great. It's a lot of work, though. It is a lot. I watched the guys. It is a ton of work.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, but they were excellent. That said, I mean, they were great crabs.
It's not supposed to fill you up. It's supposed to be like just a sitting around talking, just drinking and eating bullshit, and then all of a sudden you're like, bring me the hush puppies and the corn, and it all goes downhill.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying. This is as close as Maryland will ever come to like a European style dinner where people actually eat for a couple hours and talk, because you're picking crabs and you're talking and drinking and hanging out. It's fun.
Yeah.
Sean and I went out for breakfast on Sunday morning to a place called Blue Moon Cafe. Been there?
Yeah.
Ian recommended that, and it was pretty good. There's some good sights in there, good food.
It's a small little hippie diner.
It is,
but it's
they weren't all bearded wonders though.
But
in there.
Hey, look, Baltimore is called Charm City for a reason, man. We're a melting pot here, and it's fun. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we should have raised a glass and done a penicillin shot. Actually, that would have made sense.
Yeah.
There's outdoors in Maryland. He knows all about it. He just finished getting some crabs. Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
within one of these days.
Yeah, I saw your video there on Instagram, man. Yeah, you got a big one.
Crab. That's a huge. Your hand behind it was huge. It was big.
Michael's right. Good crabs, worth the work. I had a friend, Jonathan. You'll appreciate it from. I think it's Waltham. Is that how you pronounce it in Massachusetts?
Waltham. There you
Waltham. Go. Moved down here is sophomore year of high school. We took him out for steamed crabs. Said, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And we couldn't get him off the table. And once he started picking them and going through them, he's like, "This is the greatest thing in the world." He's like, "This puts lobster to shame." He loved it. He just became a Maryland guy overnight. It's an indoctrination into coming here. It's pretty fun.
I also learned that Chris is the master at eating crabs. So sorry, Andy, but he was very efficient.
He was fast.
So everybody knows, yeah. So we used to.
That's all they all say about Chris.
I used to. Well, not sharing too much information there, Joe. I used to go crabbing with my father. We get a little boat. We go on the Chester River and we go crabbing and put our bait line down and we come back with a couple bushel crabs. And we would steam them at the house when I grew up, and it was they just dumped them on the table. So you're hungry, eat. It wasn't about talking when you're younger. So I learned how to eat them as fast as I could, fill up, or just get sick of the salt. So that's just the way I grew up. So it's just and also then when they got they are expensive now, but then when we started buying them, we never had like you get 6, you get 6, you get 6, you get 6, right? It's whoever could eat them the fastest got the most. So that just played in. So it would just almost be like vultures just attacking them in our family. We just eat them as fast as we can. Then sit around and talk.
Yeah. Well, I just did it differently because I was
in a family where they threw the crab legs down at the end of the table because you were a kid and you can only get crab legs. That's the way I grew up.
That was Chris.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not eating these. These are a waste of time. I'm not. So I was just giving them to Sean. I was pushing them in Sean's directions. I was pushing them over to Andy.
And the funny thing is, not only that, I'll take not just the claws. I'll even take the little legs, the 6 little. I'll crack those puppies open. I'll dig in there and I'll get the little piece out of it. I don't care. Like I'll stay there for hours and get every last bit out because I'm not. But some people are like, nah, tossing the legs. I'm like, don't toss those. Those are good. Bring them over.
If you're out of town, the best thing to do is you come to Maryland after 4th of July. Don't eat crabs before the 4th of July or 4th of July. You got to eat them like September, October when they're big and they're dirt cheap. You buy them at a shack, you bring them home, and you eat them there. You could get them for like $100 a dozen, and you can be not a dozen, but a bushel, 150, maybe 200, and then you'd be there all night with a bunch of friends. That's the way you do it. It saves you a ton of money
because they really get fat towards the end of the summer, and like you can get good crabs all the way up until close to, if the weather's warm enough, close to Halloween, and get really good steamed crabs. But yeah, Joe's right. They get fatter at the end of the summer, and oh man, they're good. If you're eating crabs in April and even March, April here, you're probably getting them from Louisiana. Yeah, probably not from Maryland. But
to your earlier point, Andy, and also your style of picking crabs, I would say that's very cultural. My wife's also Italian, and meals are much more a social activity than about eating food. So yeah, I think that I think that's why you approach it differently. And neither is bad. It's just I like food.
You met me. I haven't skipped a ton of meals. I do too. I just take my time with steamed crabs. It's just one of those things where it's crazy compared to a wine where you want to take your time and savor a bottle of wine. I do that with a dozen crabs. I'll do the same thing. So that's probably a Maryland thing. And Jay, I've had Alaskan crabs. It's not the same. What are the crabs? I had crabs once when my brother and I were in San Francisco, and they had this place. They're like the West Coast crabs. Is that the Alaska? What kind of crabs are they out there?
King crab.
Are they the king crabs? I don't know. They gave it to us. They're like, oh, you guys are gonna love this. It's 10 times better than the blue crabs from the East Coast. Like, I doubt that, but go ahead, let's try it. And they weren't even close. No competition.
Is anything crabbier than Andy when Todd's aggravating you?
Speaking of, where is our corn-loving bald friend?
He is his mother was admitted to the hospital tonight, so he's flying. I'm flying solo. So
okay.
It takes a lot for Todd not to be on stream. You guys know that.
Yeah. So sorry to hear that. Yeah.
No, it's okay. But hopefully all is well, and he's doing okay, and she's doing okay. So
I hope she's okay, and that's a fancy excuse because Todd's at a Kmart buying another computer.
I wish that were the case. I mean, I think he got that at Kmart, but I think it was refurbished from Circuit City that went out of business, and then Kmart sold it on layaway. So I mean, that's how bad this computer is, and it was our new one.
Just failing companies passing along crap computers.
I wasn't consulted on that. That was not a joint pick. So
that wasn't a joint pick.
I picked some bottles. He picks the computers. So I think it's right now. It's 1-0 Andy. But that's okay. We'll get a new one eventually.
So Andy, before the event, you and Todd got to taste through those samples of what we were going to be picking, because you guys weren't like drinking them there, correct?
Yeah. So I had a chance to taste a ton of stuff at Old Line. Those were the 5 that I brought back. I told Todd, if there's something you don't like, Mark and Arch were cool enough to say, come back. If Todd doesn't like one of them, then we'll replace it with something else. But he liked all 5 of them. So he knew what he liked, and it was funny. I think he was trying to push that on people too. I was like, when you're interviewing people, don't push what you like. But he was doing a little nudging. I heard the replays.
What was his pick?
He liked number 2.
Okay.
Darn, you should have told us that, dude. You should have told us that. We would have went with another one.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, Andy, you did leave him in charge of counting, so
They didn't leave him in charge of counting. He took over, and then Joe decided to come film. And then Andy got crabby. I do have video footage of that for another day. Once I have enough time to put it all together.
Yeah.
I
want to see Joe's video of Todd freaking out because the numbers were so close and worrying about everyone murdering him or whatever he was concerned.
There we go.
Hey, Benjamin.
This is going to finish the Motley Crew.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I just want to point out that Andy and his brother went to San Francisco and got crabs.
Bada bing, bing, bing. Welcome, Joe. I wish I had Todd's stupid things.
And the answer to what you had in San Francisco was Dungeness crab.
That's it. And I didn't like him that much.
The fat guy comes in with the answer.
Did anybody get any
good chicken? You know crabs.
Anybody get any pit beef while they're in Baltimore?
They were closed by the time I got over.
I very much wanted to, but we didn't make it around to it.
I've had it many times. I wanted to actually try Pioneer this time, but didn't get over there.
I drove by the pit beef place near the Gold Club, and Ben's like, "You got to stop there." I go, "Which place?" I got confused, and then I missed them both.
Yeah, you screwed up. I mean, I've had pit beef dozens of times, probably. So
it's not. If you go back and watch Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives when they do chaps, it's kind of funny how well they can mask the Gold Club really being right behind it because you don't see it once. And they do the entire thing without ever realizing that that's right there in the background, kicking off of 895 and go through the tunnel. Gotta love Baltimore, man. Gotta love it.
That's how you get crabs and pit beef at the same time, right there.
Surf and turf.
Speaking of loving Baltimore, I have a picture that I feel like, yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Ben knows about the picture.
I got a better one.
As soon as
you didn't get back over there to get more rum today.
We were hunting, and Ben says this name of this liquor store out loud. I was like, "Well, we have to go there," very clearly. So sorry, the anticipation is probably not worth the wait.
It's really not. You could have done better.
Gold Club. What's Gold Club? Gold Club's a gentleman's club.
Gold Club's where Desiree is. Where I lost money.
The only reason we didn't go there is because we're not gentlemen.
Yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know, when you come to Maryland and you want to get pit beef, you got to go to Chaps Pit Beef. Chaps Pit Beef is a little shed that's in a strip club parking lot. The lines out the door for the pit beef.
I realize this probably
won't. You think they're the best?
That's Baltimore, man.
There's too much reflection, really.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Cheers. Yeah. So it says
hit the thing that says full screen.
Yeah, liquors and checks cashed all in one spot. That's perfect. Don't have money for liquor? We can help you out.
That's everywhere, dude.
Yeah, like Sean, is that like something you just like realized is a thing? Like we have them all over the place.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I've lived in areas where that was common, but they're not always common, like across the United States. This is
he looks a little like a deer in headlights in Baltimore times. I'm not going to lie to you. It's okay. You assimilated well. You did a good job.
I will say, well, no, I won't.
It's a bit of an asshole, but
I can't believe you guys went over near Hopkins to get that Popeyes. That's like near where The Wire was filmed. Like that's borderline where you don't want to go.
That wasn't we. That wasn't you guys. That was me.
I know. Did you just like that was? Had I known it was taking you over to that one, I'd have been like, you might want to pick a different one.
That's
pretty safe.
That's probably why it was choice Popeyes.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So, Chris, Ben made the right choice. That was some of the best Popeyes I've had in a long time. It was killer.
I'm sorry, but if you don't know that you got to go to a hood spot to get some good eats for cheap, then you don't know. And how could you be from Baltimore and not know that you got to go to the hood to get some good eats?
That's not a very safe area over there near Hopkins. It's not very safe.
My wife taught there for 11 years.
It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. My wife was there for 11 years.
2 a.m. It might be a little sketchy.
2 a.m.
I'm not gonna lie to you. On Saturday at like 8 o'clock, I started walking out of the hotel to get dinner. I was like, nope, I'm turning back. I was like, there was shit happening on the road. And I'm like, it's Uber Eats or die. So there you go.
First of all, you didn't consult as well as you could have, Jonathan, on hotel rooms of where to stay.
You know what, Andy? I would not have it any other way. It added to the experience. I thought it was lovely. We got, so we had the meetup, which was, very white. And then I don't know how else to say.
Let's stop you right there, Sean, and just let's keep moving.
No, I'm not going to say the other thing. What I mean by that is very safe and,
you're doing worse now.
Okay.
just stop.
I'm just saying, and then our hotel experience was different.
Good.
Yeah. No, Sean, I was on the phone with Dusty Dan, and we were going street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood. These were my options. I was between, the affordability and the pink shirt down below us, and trying not to get murdered. So that's where we ended up.
I mean, I'm not a little bitch, so.
Really,
Sean?
Should I replay the phone call?
Hey, I thought it was great. I mean that honestly. I love where the hotel was.
Baltimore has its spots, and where you guys were, I don't think you guys up by Hopkins.
You guys didn't see Sean walking around, ready to go.
Yeah, Sean, between the boots and the hat and the pocket knife, I felt safe walking next to you.
Well, no, Jonathan, were you guys?
Cowboy hat on. Nobody's fucking with you, dude. Me and Jonathan and Chris are ass kicked.
Like I realize that what I said a second ago probably comes off bad, but I mean honestly, like I lived in urban areas for a large part of my life, so like I'm used to that. Like it's not, it's fine. I didn't expect a very upstate. Like I mean, this was not a cheap hotel, and it was you know where it is.
So, Jonathan, where you guys all stayed. For the same price, you could have walked out of your hotel at 1:30 in the morning and had like restaurants and bars and have been able to experience either Fells or Fed Hill.
Versus
where you were for the same price.
We booked so late for a myriad of reasons. There wasn't two hotels.
Well, that's it was Fleet Week, the auto show, and the Phillies were in town. I mean, there was a ton of stuff going on.
That's a good point.
And Father's Day.
If I booked it 2 months,
cares about Father's Day.
If I booked it 2 months prior, that's fine. But even the hotel we stayed at, I had to make 2 separate reservations on for Friday.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't realize that.
I was getting memes right now.
Good.
Andy, can I speak on your behalf real quick? I'd like to say it's Todd's fault that nobody had a good hotel because he didn't give recommendations.
Todd's never been to a hotel.
I like it.
It's true. He recommended the one next to Sagamore. Most expensive hotel in town.
Yeah. Also, it's close to barflies and nothing
Hope
else.
you have $1 jillion.
$850 a
The
month.
one next to Sagamore, by the way,
in
because
McHenry
also
Row.
speaking of events, DeSerrano had 350 people flown in from all over the
Correct.
world.
And that's where Todd recommended
all
everybody
staying at that hotel. So that probably wasn't going to be on the list either. So yeah, it was maybe a little slim pickings there, but you know, it was fun. It was a good weekend, and
Hey, what's up, Woods? Cheers, buddy.
I turned around and drove 4.5 hours back home. I'm like, I'm not trying.
yeah, you came a ways too, man. I mean, actually 4.5 hours is not bad. That means you got through DC relatively unscathed.
See, when coming into Virginia Beach, DC doesn't concern me. It's the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. That is where you're going to sit. Sit and sit and sit. That tunnel
I'm
is.
not gonna lie. Every time I went over a bridge near you guys, I clenched a little.
Please still be a bridge in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
I really did. I was like,
it was funny. I was talking to David Souza yesterday from Corbin Cash, and we were talking about some just the bottles that are coming, a couple other things. He goes, "Man, I never talked to you about the bridge, you know, and the fact the Key Bridge collapsed." Because I watched that back and I saw it crumble like a deck of cards, because those rigs are just gigantic. Like it's insane how quickly that thing fell. But he's like, God, that reminds me of when I was in high school in Oakland. I was like, oh crap, you're talking about during the World Series. You guys remember the earthquake and the bridge during the A's and the Giants? Yeah. I remember, and that was in the middle of the day when that happened. And there was a lot of people on the bridge, and that was crazy. So
cars got flattened, and
that was nuts. So I was like, God, I forgot about that. But yeah, so. But I don't think it's an everyday occurrence in Maryland. You guys should be good going over bridges if you come.
I'm just saying that, like,
I get you, Ben. I get you. My wife and kids, like the next day after the Key Bridge collapsed, I had to go across the Bay Bridge to an appointment, and they're all flipping out like, "Don't go!" It's like, guys, I don't think this happens like in consecutive days. If it does, I might be playing the lottery. So,
hey, Andy, Tim Connery said he stayed at Newkirk Street. You know where that is?
Tim Cornet, he stayed at an Airbnb.
He stayed in an Airbnb that was over closer. It's over by Canton, more like Highlandtown. So he was by Greek. I think he was by Greektown. So, which they also have a lot of good food over there too.
Couldn't have a meetup without Coke Zero, could you, Andy?
What was that?
Couldn't have a meetup without Coke Zero.
Todd, I don't know how much he bought, but he said, all right, I'll go do a Costco run. So get some water. And he goes, I should get Coke Zero. I was like, I don't know if people are going to use it. I was like, but what the hell? You promote it so much, I bet you people will. Should I get a case? Like, do we really need a case of Coke Zero? He's like, do we really not need a case of Coke Zero? So, yeah. So, and I'm walking around, and I forget who the group was, but they're drinking it, and they're like, you know, this really works. This really cleanses your palate afterwards. I'm like, oh, that's not true. I was like, this like, he's brainwashing you people. I was like, you don't cleanse your palate with Coke Zero, but he's, you know what? He's an influencer, and all of a sudden people are like, yeah, I think it's a great palate cleanser. They're like, no way, come on.
I just needed the caffeine after whatever the hell happened.
Exactly. So, but whoever said that, Nancy Fraley strongly disagrees. Just going to say. But you know, so Andy, you saw how I looked when I walked in. In fact, you looked concerned.
You still look homeless.
And I got to say, the caffeine helped. It helped, get me to the right place. So,
yeah, I was actually. If anybody wants a sneak peek of how much fun Friday was, just clip the tail end of Big Vic's live stream on Friday night, and you'll see just how good everyone was feeling. Yeah, especially Sean. Yeah, you don't realize, and we said this in the last stream too, but Sean walks in. He's a big son bitch. He's with the hat on, the cowboy boots. He's kicking in like he's walking in, 6'4", whatever. I'm like, wow, big boy. You can't tell on screen here, but yeah.
Ben tried to out kick him though, for sure.
Yeah,
Ben's stripping on the streets.
No, that's right.
I mean, I realized I threw a little shade at Baltimore earlier, but honestly, I mean, I had
Andy's the only one.
This weekend was freaking awesome, guys. Like you guys killed it. Every event was fantastic. I had a blast the entire time I was there. obviously, as Andy points out. There's proof.
And Sean did not kill a local walking his dog, almost, but didn't.
Yeah. It was close. Here's the thing. I don't even know how that dispute started. Like, I feel like he cursed at us first, didn't he?
Yeah,
no, it probably started a couple hours before that, Sean. I think is how it started.
Sean, what I said. You said something about it, like, "Hi, nice doggy" or something, and the guy
was like, "Shut up."
Yeah,
you were like,
I'm not going to say what he said, but he said to go F yourself. That's what set me off. I was like, that's not the right response to "you have a nice dog."
I think it was ECBP that set you off.
Well, no, I mean, honestly, I probably would have reacted the same way, Jonathan, regardless of sober or not, because that's not how you respond to someone saying you have a nice dog. Like, that's how you respond to your dog.
He was going to take a swing at Sean, and I was just going to make popcorn.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to get shanked tonight.
Because I was just trying to be a nice guy, and then this guy,
Sean, you fit really well in the Baltimore.
He went full Baltimore on Sean.
Yeah. I was like, you know what, buddy?
Big guy like you with a cowboy hat and boots on, and you look at a guy and say, "Nice dog." I don't know. I mean, the guy might think that was a pickup line.
Either you were at the Brooks and Dunn concert.
The guy walked the dog. You know what?
Freaking Brokeback Mountain ruining Cowboys for every other cowboy ever.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
That's not a thing in the cowboy people.
You're batting 1,000 tonight, Sean.
I mean, Joe brought it up. I'm just addressing it.
I just said you look like one of the guys in the Village People. That's all I'm saying.
You know what, Joe? You're glad I'm 10 hours away. That's all I'm saying.
You guys are fucked.
Actually, so I will say, here's a question. Corey had the question. Was there one barrel that did not hit with anyone? Was that the barrels? I think the very first one was the one that most people didn't have in their top three. It was still very good. I think it was very good.
It was in my top three.
To be honest with you,
I think was the one that nobody really liked.
Which one?
Which one?
E.
I liked E. I just thought
do too. A lot of people. I think Anthony Peters said it best about E. E was so complex. He said, I think it was almost too much for a lot of whiskey drinkers. That thing kept changing every time.
It was like a dessert pour, which I'm not typically into.
That's like the Amburana effect, where you can only have it so often. But it changed. It went from like Tootsie Rolls, it felt like rum, it felt like cognac. I didn't know what it was. A was my first one off the island, and it was
very clearly younger than B.
E was off the island immediately for me, because it was like I call it a mess of a whiskey. Like there's a bunch of things in it going against each other, fighting each other.
All right, Andy, you guys have revealed already, right? We can talk openly about. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like B was the oldest single malt that was available, and it was great. Obviously, that's why we picked it. And like A just wasn't in the same kind of range. It was good, but like B was clearly the standout of the two and of the group for me. I know others on panel here disagree, but
it would have been really interesting if the bottle your own Sauternes had been our Sauternes. That might have taken out. That would have been interesting. That would have changed things.
It wouldn't have changed my mind, but I think it would have changed others. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I hate to tell you, I blended A and B together, and it came out great.
Yeah.
But they were like, no, we can't do that.
I do think the Sauternes for the bottle your own was really good. They had about 4 barrels. I didn't get to go through all of them.
You can't try them all.
It's just it'll kill your palate. So I went through as much as I could without, I think palate fatigue in point. And I thought the Sauternes at the time when I tried the Sauternes, it may have been my leader, and it changed a little bit towards the end. Again, it's also where you drink it in the lot. When Todd first did the samples, he drank everything first before the VDN. By the time you drink that Sauternes in the port, his palate was done. He could pull nothing out of the VDN. He tried it back again. He's like, God, this is really good the next day on its own. So it's finished whiskey's gonna be tough too, but
It was a fun lineup. What you picked was fun, Andy. Like it was diverse, which I appreciated. It was a fun lineup. Yeah,
it was diverse, just like the City.
That's not what I'm hearing tonight. It's not what I'm hearing tonight. I haven't heard any about thing you like the verse tonight. I can tell you that right now.
You know what, Joe? That is not what I meant. I would explain further, but I feel like it's just going to lead to more problems. So,
let me ask this: if the rum was in that, would everybody pick the rum, or they still pick B?
Oh, I would still pick B.
Ah, man, that's tough, Joe. I might have picked the rum, honestly. Like, it is so freaking good.
I think it's
rum because I'm pretty sure I would have been able to tell it was rum if it was in a flight of whiskey, because it does taste very whiskey-esque for a rum. But if you put it with a whiskey, you're like, that's different in a very, very sweet.
I actually just did a 50-50 blend of the Case 1 rum and 120 proof cast strength.
I bet it's just good. I bet it's just delicious.
It was. This just made it darker and richer.
Hey, so coming all the way from Michigan, I wanted to bring real quick up to the panel.
Hey guys, cheers.
Hey, Tim. What's up, buddy?
Hey,
how you doing?
Hey.
Andy, for the love of God, change the freaking StreamYard layout.
What do you want? You want this?
Yeah, the Brady
better?
one.
Yeah, that looks a lot better.
Is that better? Actually, you know, I'm sorry. Let me change it again. That is
good.
Don't do it, Ben. Don't do it.
Don't do
That
it.
looks good.
Hey, Tim,
put you on the
great
spot
to meet you
and
this
talk
week.
about you.
Yeah, you guys too. It was a blast. And
So, what did you think of your first steamed crabs experience, man?
That
Tell
was-
the people.
I had more on my pants that I actually ate, but it's pretty good actually. I enjoyed it.
Maybe work on the phrasing there, Tim. But
Well,
You're not
Sure.
allowed to call anybody out tonight, Sean.
no, I
And
was,
while they were doing those, while they were picking those crabs, I was sleeping like a baby.
no, you were. Ben was out the other. He was out. Were you snoring or not? I don't know.
Actually, you know what? Not stereotyping, but I expected Ben to snore. He didn't snore. He actually was just very peaceful. He looked like a little just like a little
Hey,
gentle.
that nap got me all the way back to New York.
There you go. That was a blast. Had a great time.
After like 3 hours of hunting, he still made it all the way back to New York.
Yeah, that was impressive.
It was very-
No, I mean we had Virginia Beach, we had Kentucky, we had Boston, we had Michigan. I mean, it means a lot. You guys came. That was really, really cool. It really is. Means a lot, and I'm glad you guys had fun. The last thing we would want is for you guys to come down and be like, well, that sucked. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed the weekend. I really am. I'm glad you guys had fun because
We
it was a
appreciate
blast.
you guys throwing that whole thing. That was amazing.
Cheers, Richie. Love you, buddy.
And Arch was really cool too. He went out of his way. We found out they couldn't ship to Michigan. He found a shipping box for me, gave it to me free. Had the people tape it up for me, and I brought some bottles home. So that was kind of cool.
That's awesome. They're all good people there. Jared, their marketing guy, was huge in helping me get this thing set up. You guys didn't get to meet Mark, but you saw him on stream. He had a wedding, but he's hysterical. He's funny. He and Arch. I was there for an event last Tuesday, and or last Thursday, I should say. And Brian was there, BT and March and Arch, and we're sitting down, and those two fight like me and Todd. It's the funniest thing in the world. It's like it's almost like watching us if we owned a distillery as opposed to a channel, because they get along so well, but they're always at each other's throats. It's hysterical. So they're good people, man. It's just. And
We should talk about the how happy Sean was when BT showed up.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, like it was awesome to have him show up. I mean, at Barflies, like I thought he might show up at some point in the weekend, but I didn't expect Friday night. Yeah, that was great, man. Just hanging out with the folks. Yeah,
Just an everyday guy. That's all he acts like.
Yeah.
Literally.
He'd have been there he had a family event on Saturday. He actually had to get up early for it, so I didn't expect him at all on Friday. So it was really cool that he actually came. And now Brian's about. We talk about if Dusty Dan is the nicest guy on YouTube, Brian could be a pretty close second. He's just nice. Yeah. He's just one of those guys that can't help not want to have a beer with. Just a good dude.
BT is the best. There's nothing else to say.
Which I did. I had a beer with Brian. I knew nothing about it. It was in an Orioles can, and he was like, "Yeah, you should get one." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it, man."
That's a natty bow, brother. As we say here, natty bow.
We had some natty bow at the bar before the Orioles game. That was very thirst quenching.
Hey, what are people drinking?
Yeah, what is everybody drinking? By the way, Jay, JG, I'll be back in Iowa, I believe, in August. So let's set it up, buddy. I think we'll think about August. We're gonna be back in Iowa.
Andy, are you going back to get more rum at some point?
I can. I told whoever needs it, I can go and get.
I have heard rumors.
So,
well, I mean, so Andy, as you can see, and
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. God, had I known, we'd have done a rum barrel too. Why not our first rum barrel?
Are they open Wednesdays? Does anyone? I should know this, being local, but does Joe?
They got a thing called Google.
You know, Ben.
Listen. All right. First of all, Ben, shut it. Second of all, let's talk. Let's talk Sagamore on Sunday, right? One place on the internet said 12, one said 11, one said 10. You were all wrong.
So I was gonna offer to get rum until Ben said there's something called Google. Then I was fucking out, and then the orchid of rum.
Chris, I want to point out I was not an asshole. So
today, yeah.
Chris, if you know me, you know I'm always an asshole.
But it's okay because Andy will ship them out to you. He'll be able to package them with the T-shirts that he owes you guys.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
They're in the mail.
So what you're saying is we're never going to get the rum.
Hey Eric, those are called IOUs.
Yes, you might want to hold on to those. Those are genuine IOUs.
Gotta be pissed he didn't buy the barrel of rum because he could have made a lot of money on that one.
It can't be as bad as Whiskey Row. I've been a Patreon member for them for like a little over 4 years. Where you can get a engraved Glen. I haven't gotten shit.
Our Glens all have gone out. Our pint glass have gone out.
Don't put them in the dishwasher though.
Spirits on South Johnny Street in Baltimore will be closed tomorrow.
Speaking of, I need to pay you guys for another
9 p.m.
There you go. There's one. See, the close up on there for Chris. See, he's got a Glen.
Yeah, mine's right over there.
That's his Patreon. That's pretty good.
Old line is not open until Friday.
Okay.
And Joe, I picked this up at one of the liquor stores you said.
That's a good pour.
What is it?
Manhattan.
I've seen that in stores. Yeah.
Manhattan finish.
Andy, I do need to send you guys some more money because my 21090 pint glass broke. I don't know why.
You dropped it.
You threw it against the wall.
You threw it yourself.
Well, so you see, I run a stream on Friday nights, and sometimes, things get out of hand. And
you don't say.
I'll check for you, Sean, because
you had a bad ex bourbon over your house, didn't you?
I have some really cool beer glasses, like tulip glasses and stuff too. That if you want something other than the traditional pint glass, I can get that. See, the person who engraves my Glens has done some beer glasses, and they've turned out really well before too.
Okay, that'd be cool, man.
The ones for Teespring, I think Todd got that at the same place that he got his refurbished Circuit City computer at Kmart. So that
don't put them in your dishwasher. I'll tell you what happens. It's the vanishing.
So honestly, I can show you exactly what happened roughly. So if this is the 21090 glass, I grab it like this, it slips out of my hand, and it falls onto my table, like literally just fell over, and it just exploded, which was unfortunate. I ended up actually sitting on a piece of glass the next morning because I thought I got it all, and I didn't. So that was fun.
Yeah, glass enemas are always.
Was that better or worse than the chicken bone?
Oh, it was much less bad. The chicken bone is one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. Like, it's I can't even don't swallow chicken bones, people. I can't stress it enough.
Yeah, see, let me know if you want something different. Saucy's got the pint glass, the tulip glass, and 2 Glens. But I got I engraved a ton of different beer glasses here just to see how they came out. Some of them are really good, so I can hook you up.
The tulip glass sounds great. I probably wouldn't use it on lives though because I don't want to break it. But
well, just don't drop it then. That's probably what you should do.
Yeah, that's good advice, Andy. No, the tulip glass sounds great, man. Yeah.
No, the tulip glass is nice. If you're having a beer, you'll enjoy it. Who did I just miss? Somebody said, was that you, Ben?
Dan's in. I just said hi. To
Also,
Dan.
great to meet you this weekend, KJ.
This is the dumbest glass I currently own. This was from Pursuit Spirits. They put a little Glen on stemware. I'm like, you can't give me stemware because I put it down too hard because I'm an idiot and I break it.
That looks legit, though. I mean, it looks legit.
I had 8 of those in it was mid-March when I went to Pursuit, and I ended with 8 of them, and I now have 3. That's how often I break them.
That makes
sense.
Son of a bitch.
Let's be honest.
Game
the
over.
wives get happy when we break glasses because I have way too many up from different places anywhere. Like, oh, you dropped. Don't need to replace it. It's fine.
Mazel tov.
Exactly. So, is everybody glued here? Because I'm on a delay.
Well, I'm on a delay after Joe, so you already know what happens.
Oh, never mind. That's not good. Neither one of you got excited. So,
No.
I'm assuming Kowser strikes out.
No, he grounds out.
Grounds out to first.
When are we going to see some Corbin Cash? How many days away?
So I was just I was talking to David yesterday from Corbin Cash. The 9.5 year has been bottled, so
Awesome.
that's ready to roll. The new labels have been approved. So the 8-year hazmat is going to get dumped next week because it turns 8 next week. So we're going to have them. Depending upon shipping, again, like this is the thing that's kicking our ass with Still Austin is how long it's taking it to just get to us. This is out of our control. But on David's end, things are moving. So, and I cannot wait for you guys to try it. I can't wait to unveil the new labels for those. But you guys are going to, I will say, I'm with Bad Axe when he says Coy Hill Killer. That hazmat's it's just
Is that going to be on the sticker, Andy?
I might throw a reference to it. The sticker of that one's fantastic. They're both great. You guys are gonna love the stickers on these. They're great.
Awesome.
So
wait, so your rye is over 9 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Andy, I'm correct in saying that is the oldest rye that David's ever put out, correct?
He has in his stock he's got I think a 10 and a 12, but he has not released them. The 9.5 years was his own personal stash that he was kind enough to let me take back, which is really cool. I know that
as far as what's out in the public, that is the oldest. Yes.
If Mass and Journey sit on the ones they pick tonight until September, those will turn 9. Right now they're 8. So I don't know if they pick 2 or not, but if they sit on those for another until September and then dump them then those will turn 9. But the 9.5 is the oldest they got right now, which is actually pretty cool. And it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Who y'all going to ship through?
Is this shared pour?
Yeah, we're going to do shared pour. The only one we're not doing shared pour with is Old Line. Old Line we're just going to do through them and through their distributor and some local entities. So the Old Line will be different.
Old Line through Big Pour, don't they?
Yeah, they go through Big Pour. There's a handful of states that we're going to have to work some stuff out, but we'll figure out. There's a will, there's a way. We'll get it to everybody.
Is there a price on the Old Line bottles yet?
No, I'm waiting on yield, and then I'm going to talk to Mark and Arch. Hopefully next week. That one should come about quicker. In fact, the label on that one is also wicked fun. I love designing these.
I hope it's not too quick.
I know. Look,
it'll break from all the other ones.
Because right now there's at least 3 bottles I have to buy, and now potentially there's definitely a 4th. So coming, yeah.
Well, I'll say this, and you guys know this, but it's not intentional. We had planned this pretty strategically that Still Austin, because Chris, we were out in Still Austin. How long ago now? When were we out there?
March.
Was it early March we were out there?
Or April? I don't remember.
Well, early enough that realistically, the latest that thing was supposed to be dropped was May. And now here we are in June, and we're still waiting. Now with Corbin Cash on the horizon, if that comes quicker, then we can have these back-to-back entities. and now Old Line is in the mix. So, did we plan on it coming this quickly, all bunched together? No, but we're kind of at the mercy of the distributors and when it gets across. So, hopefully, it's still spread out in enough that it's not draining everybody, because they're all really good. And the problem with the Corbin Cash, especially in the Still Austin, is that once if it does get through Patreon, it's gonna be gone really fast.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that everybody can get their hands on it. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I guess my other problem is I would like to get at least 2 of each of the Corbin Cash. And I kind of know the price structure that David has. So, yeah. So
just take one of your bottles back there, sell it.
They're all open, Andy.
Are you like Todd? Do you grab it, drink half of it, and then put it back on the shelf?
On the way home, usually, yes.
We also don't do that here. Our roads are paved, so we have.
It's fair. That's fair. No, I mean, honestly, Andy, I really think I think your Corbin Cash picks are going to go down in history among Whiskey Tube. Yeah, man, I think that bourbon is going to be talked about for a long time, and your rye pick. I can't wait, man. Yeah,
they're both killer. They're both really good.
The OGs get it first.
So, no, it'll be. I think you guys will. I think you guys will get it. I just don't think it will last long. So I just think it's going to. Track record says that thing is if it hits Patreon. I mean, if it hits shared pour, it's going to be gone. Yeah. So what I'd like to do is keep it up for at least a week to give people a chance to get on and cheer through before it drops. I have to negotiate with Shareport to see if they will allow.
You think it's going to last that long?
I'm talking through Patreon just to give our patrons a chance to gobble it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Give it like 2 days of Patreon before it goes public. That should be enough.
Yeah,
it'll probably be like 2 hours.
That's fair.
If you allow out, say like first hour one. I mean, you guys do whatever you want, but make sure everybody gets one before on Patreon before.
No, we're tiering it. It's not going, and it will. And hopefully, like I said, the other thing is 9 years Atwater, California. It's not going to be a gigantic yield, so we're also going to have to be aware of how many is coming out. So, but we're getting a lot closer.
I would say to Ben's point, I think you guys are probably going to sell it on Patreon this time. Yeah, that one.
So. That's the goal.
What he was saying about yields tonight on the little bit of Mash and Journey I heard. Yeah, I think you'll be lucky if everybody on Patreon gets one.
Yeah, it may be a 25-gallon yield. We don't know. It may be something maybe less. I don't know. But then again, sometimes we're surprised. When Still Austin came back and said, 225 bottles, we're like, oh wow. So, but that went too. That flew. So, and that being their first rye, that's another one that once it hits Shareport, I think that's going to fly. So this is where if I wish I had the little fellow with me, he'd be like, so for all of you members out there who are free members who would like to become a paid Patreon, this is a perfect opportunity. I struggle with that.
Saucy's dropping the link there.
All right, cool.
I would say there's probably already enough people on Patreon.
I mean, Andy, it's hard to make fun of Todd after he nailed that live 60-second review.
You out, Joe?
Menu this weekend.
Actually,
Joe.
Man. Go ice the hammies.
That's what I got to do. I got to ice my fucking knee. It's killing me.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, see you guys.
See you, Joe.
Good one.
But for those of you, if any of you were on Dusty's show last night, Todd just ripped through a 60-second impromptu
awesome
old line rum, and he did a killer job. It was fantastic. Put the camera on him. He still did the "What say you" at the end and timed it right down to having 7 seconds. I was like, "Look at you, little fella! Good for you, man. He knocked it out of the park.
He's a pro.
Adorable.
He is. That's my buddy.
You were proud of him last night. That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm always proud of him. He just gets under my skin sometimes, and I do the same to him. So, look,
hey, Andy, not to put out personal business, but any update from Todd, just good or bad? You don't have to go into detail, but
I haven't talked to him in a couple hours. He hasn't hopped on the stream. I'm taking that as I'll leave him be. I'll approach him in the morning and see how things are going. So I'm hoping things are okay.
Yeah, I hope things improve. Yeah.
I have I mean, I don't know this for sharing, so
Do you know what would help Todd get through this if we had 5 more paid Patreons tonight?
There you go.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, good or bad news? We don't have to get into details. It's good or bad.
No. I will. I'm sure he will let me know when things are. When and if things are okay. So,
Todd, if you see this in the future, I love you, buddy. I hope you and your mom are doing good.
Yeah. Same for me too, as well. And I'll tell you what, Todd's a lot taller in person than I thought he was. And I'm short, so I got a picture of Andy and myself in the middle at Old Line, and I look like a little dwarf. So between the two guys, so
next to Todd, that's impressive.
Yeah, I'm going to share all those pictures soon. It's fun meeting people in person and just hanging out. And it was.
I've uploaded mine onto a Google Drive, Andy. I just got to share the link with you.
Yeah, it's because you two have that other little
little side project. I got to work on that. I'm just buried with work.
A side project, indeed.
I'm going to send you a couple, Jonathan.
No, that will turn out well.
Chris, did you see it? Did you send it to Chris, Jonathan?
No.
Okay. I feel like we need to. I feel like he'd appreciate it.
Well, I'll grab an email address from you, and I will add you to the Google Drive. Just don't share them with Todd.
Yeah, he's gonna flip. You guys were funny as hell. That was awesome. Yeah. He's gonna enjoy it.
The whole iPhone to Android thing still isn't right, So.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's not.
But you have a
Mac. 5, Andy. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you got it.
Andy, you have a Mac, correct?
For this, yeah, I had never had a Mac before, and when I started really editing, I needed like something bigger to handle Adobe. Once I used to use a different program. Now that I'm using Adobe for everything, which I absolutely love, I needed something that could handle it. And this Mac's been pretty awesome. I actually didn't know if I'd like it. I love it. So, yeah, but I still can't switch to an iPhone. I still like my Android. I like my Galaxy. So
when I switched over to a MacBook, the Apple Store was like, you can borrow the computer for 30 days. Just don't damage it. And you got to take 2 classes. Like an hour into the first class, I was like, okay, buy Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, from a computer standpoint, especially for editing, it's a no-brainer. It's really good.
There's far less updates and drama and nonsense too. So,
but do you do any editing? Not to get geeky, but do you edit anything?
I used to, not anymore. Now I just pay people because I'm too busy.
I have fallen in love with Adobe Photoshop and Premiere Pro. Like I'm just really learning a lot. I'm just enjoying working on these things. So
it's a lot easier to drag and drop and move things around.
Oh yeah, but just to manipulate and get close. I mean, like the details on these things, like putting the socks on Todd and like putting all those things up and just like all that stuff. Like I could not do that on my old program, even though my old program was pretty good.
Can you add a rolled up sock somewhere else to help him out? Help out the little fellow.
Like the little fella caught on too.
I don't know if you know this, but Adobe runs exactly the same no matter what platform it's on.
No, I'm talking about the space you need to and I know that you can get you can get some PCs with tons of space too, but I just like the format and the layout of the Macs. I think it goes well with it. So it's a little better than the Kmart computer that we were using over there for our live streams.
I think you have to have a really good computer when it comes to Microsoft.
Ironically, the computer I stream from, I bought at Walmart.
Did you? Well, actually, Walmart has some good computers. It just so happened the refurbished model.
It's not in the same. It's not all the exact same parts as when it came here, but as a base, it worked just fine.
No, you don't have to spend an arm and a leg, but it just
no, except for in like 2 years when they start planned obsolescing your Mac, that's when you'll start hating Mac.
Oh, come on. My Mac's 5 years old. It's fine.
Yeah, in 6 years, you won't be able to get an update.
Ben, you're so dramatic.
I only say this because I just had to get rid of my last working Mac that I owned because it couldn't use the software I needed because it couldn't take an update.
What do you cut with? What do you edit with? Ben,
What do I edit with?
Yeah.
Generally, I use GIMP for photos. GIMP, or for quick stuff like thumbnails and stuff, I use the hell's that thing called? It's the Cheech actually got me on it. It's called Adobe Express. Was what I use for thumbnails and stuff. As far as video, I hate video editing, and I've tried multiple programs, including DaVinci, Adobe. I'm just bad at it.
You don't do any of that on your phone, like on CapCut, or there's a couple other ones?
I've tried. I just hate video editing.
It's so much easier on your phone.
Have more recorded content. I'm really, not only do I not like it, I'm really bad at it on top of it. So I have no artistic ability whatsoever. So I'm completely engineering, black and white. I don't really have creativity when it comes to anything artistic. So like video editing for me,
I disagree, Ben. You chef the crap out of a pizza. All right, so
I can problem solve. That is not artistic.
Ben can problem cause too.
I was actually Dusty Dan. I was actually just going to say this. This is what I used to use, and it's good. It's not nearly as intense as Adobe, and that's what I used for years was Power Director. It's actually really Cyberlink Power Director is a good one. It's cheap and it's easy, and all their stuff is free updates and upgrades, which is nice too. So that's a plus.
Whereas Adobe's like, give me your money every month.
Yeah, Adobe's expensive.
DaVinci is great for a free program. I mean, what you can do on DaVinci is fantastic.
DaVinci is what most of Hollywood runs on these days.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic. Yeah, it's
incredibly
great.
Powerful open source. It's just not friendly. Once you learn it, you could be a beast with it. But
there is a learning curve. That's true.
And it doesn't matter. I screwed up in iMovie. That's how bad I am at editing. Okay. So, hence why I have very little recorded content.
Well, I mean, Ben, if you can do what you do, then you can learn DaVinci.
Oh, I could. It's just it will make me want to claw my eyes out.
Fair enough.
No one wants to see that, Ben. You're a beautiful man.
There are people who would like to see me cause physical self-harm, but that's besides the point. On this stream alone, Christopher. But
what?
Dan,
we have a love-hate relationship.
Feels like a strange call-out.
We love to hate. What? He called me an asshole midstream.
I mean, you were being an asshole.
Yeah, but
I am an asshole. But,
well, you have to appreciate his honesty, Ben. That is something I've always admired about Chris.
Absolutely. I didn't take offense to it at all. I agreed.
You know.
And then I got him the answer anyway and said they're not open till Friday.
You're just trying to show that you're not as big of an asshole as people think that you are, Ben.
Oh, no, I'm a giant, gaping, pus-infected, asshole. But anyway.
Other than that, you're a gem, though, really.
Bone stuffed asshole.
So like mine right now.
Goodness gracious.
All right, we're all going to hell.
I wonder what side you got.
It doesn't exist. You know that, John.
Andy, you get pumped for Kentucky trip? Yeah, I actually am. I'm really excited.
Cool trip for sure.
I have never been to Kentucky. At least I've driven through it. I've never been there officially to stop and hit some distilleries. So
I can't wait for
all these places. Yeah. I've never been before.
I can't believe that. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm stoked. And I'm happy the little fella's come with me because he doesn't always travel with me. So that'll be nice to have him.
Allegedly traveling with you.
So is Desiree meeting you guys down there? Is that the plan?
I hope so. It depends on if Chris can pay the travel costs to get her over to Kentucky.
I will say, Andy.
Hey, Tim, I got a rain check.
Oh, there you go.
I got an IOU.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Andy, since I'm planning to make the Louisville meetup, I will believe it when I see it that Todd has actually left the state of Maryland. Yeah, so we'll see.
In his defense, he bought a ticket, so that's
okay. All right.
I'm just waiting on him to cancel. I'll be there with bells on.
Can't get on the plane without a ticket, so he's got one step in the right direction.
Okay.
So
Sean, it's a big step. So
yeah.
All right, Eric, Kentucky Lions about an hour away.
You
Yeah,
know what
and, Sean and I had discussed also in our drinking moments this weekend that possibly doing a Tennessee meetup as well, somewhere where close up for Kentucky and Tennessee, like a Mash and Metal 21090 meetup where we can get a bunch of people from Tennessee, Iowa, Kentucky, like trying. So that's going to be somewhere we're trying
to fit in that equation
because we just need JG to be able to be part of something. So we're going to let him go somewhere, so someone that he can drive to or fly to.
There you go.
Iowa to Tennessee is still pretty freaking far.
It is, but it's closer than Baltimore, so we're giving him a chance to come out.
It's less far than Maryland for sure. Yeah.
Listen, I'm excited for the pick. I'm so grateful that I got a chance to have some input and hang out with you guys. It was worth the drive, and I'd do it again. And if O-line could just not be in Baltimore, I'm kidding. Yeah. Anyways,
if we can find, so the next one's what at Sam Adams or something, then Jonathan, we'll have to come up with.
I talked to it should be Traverse City. I got it next year.
There you go.
Hey, you know what? I would love that. I would love that. And let's put it this way, Tim. If it's not a giant meetup with everybody, it's on my list soon.
There we go.
So there's a couple places. It's weird though. I'm hitting all these places outside of Kentucky. So this is why I am stoked to go to Kentucky. Like, hey, this is the hub of all the distilleries. I'm hitting Texas and Iowa and California and Maryland and all these other places. So it's time for me to.
You're going to be Todd level excited.
I might be. I'm going to be a happy little fellow. They see that's good. I'm going to be excited about that. So this will be great. But MGP doesn't open their doors much. So this is a really kind of unique thing, which is kind of cool just to see.
Yeah,
do I know what we're coming back with, or if anything? No, but the fact that it's on the table is kind of neat.
That's cool.
Hey, and John, just want to throw it out there. You saw me almost get into a fight in Baltimore. It will definitely happen in Boston.
Not sure, Gandy, but we can look into seeing. I got to check the schedule, and because I literally, if I travel, I do meetups with everybody if I can. I got to check and see how rigid our schedule is because we're at the mercy of the tour. But I will see.
Do you get up to New England at all?
Yeah. How far are you from Rhode Island?
Oh, like less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can set something up. I'll see you when I hit you up when I go to Rhode Island.
Yeah, we've got some good spots in Rhode Island that I think you'd enjoy a lot.
Yeah. Hey, Rhode Island. Cheers, guys.
What say you? There was a lot of that over the weekend.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Look, and I give Todd a hard time, but I love him. He's a good dude, and you guys saw it. What he is on camera is how he is in person. That's what I like about Spell. Like he's
authentic.
That's how he is.
Both guys.
Yeah.
Both.
What you see is what you get.
And now that you got me in person, Andy, now you can tell that when I'm on camera, I'm constantly toning it down.
We didn't realize we needed a mute button for you, Sean. We're like, no.
Yeah.
No, Sean, you're exactly what I thought you were going to be. Exactly. Yeah. It's but it was awesome just seeing you guys in person. It was a lot of fun.
Barflies was a great spot.
Yes. Very cool.
Yeah.
I believe we all had a lot of fun.
We had a great time. And like I said, Tim's now a pro at Steam Crab. So this is
right.
Now he's going to give the lessons next time. He's going to let everybody know exactly how it's going.
Also, I had the pick of the night at Barflies. Remember the Westward?
That was money. I went and got back.
That was really good.
Yeah.
So he picked up that it was the Westland Pinot Noir finish.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was beautiful. I know you get a pour that.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
I was shocked how good that was, actually.
Yeah.
We don't have bars in Massachusetts where pours are $15 for 2 ounces or less. It's more like 40.
Yeah, for sure. That was really surprised how inexpensive they were. I think I got JD 12 for $18 or something like that.
Yeah,
Never tried it before.
You just buy it by the ounce and take the bottle.
I do want to see a game at Fenway, Jonathan. So if I'm up there and they happen to be in town, I've been to Boston 4 or 5 times. The Sox have been out of town every time I've been there.
I mean, if you give me enough notice, I know Jason came up here for a trip, and I got him some tickets to see the Sox and the Mets. So enough notice. People throw tickets at me once in a while. I can call in a favor for you.
There you go.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I would love to see, because, like I said, I've been there a bunch of times, and they're never. Although Red Sox fans are interesting because at Camden Yards, I've been to enough games when the Red Sox were in town. This is when the Orioles were really bad.
The Sox fans would come down to take over.
But the Sox fans were obnoxious. I'm not saying all Sox fans, but most of them were, and they're talking crap like they have, 100 World Series, whereas the Yankees literally didn't talk nearly as much smack, and they've got 27 World Series. And Boston it's just us and the Yankees. Like, well, you guys need like another 20 to get to where the Yankees are, but they did not. They're ruthless. They are just ruthless.
Andy, when the Red Sox came back 3-0 against the Yankees, that was like reversing the curse. That was a lifetime of shit that we just threw off our backs. So it makes you feel like you're floating at that point, At
the time, I would say it was one of the most exciting series I've ever watched. I loved that.
Oh, you know how many people up here have pictures of Jason Varitek punching A-Rod? Come on, that's right up there with, the man on the cross for us.
Any picture of someone punching A-Rod's not bad.
Andy, on the flip side, Patriot fans are just as big of, I'm going to say, douchebags as Sox fans. So, and they have the pedigree to it. But when they come down here, it's fights left and right at M&T Bank. But
I would rather be a Patriots fan always than have to cheer for Lamar Jackson.
Shots fired.
Whoa.
Boring.
Wow.
It's not that he's not talented. I just don't like his face.
Oh, jeez.
It's a good reason. That's a good reason to hate somebody.
That's why he's going to get convicted of something.
Jonathan, we're not trying to outdo each other tonight.
You guys are doing great. Well, luckily,
you're not in a hotel room with Sean now, okay? Right?
Now, granted, Lamar is never going to be the great one. So that's there's only one Joseph. That's where it's at. So
there it is.
So hey, there you go. And sorry, Tom Brady.
I love that stat.
Yeah, look at that stat. Look at that. I love it. There you go.
That's
just flash that for you there, Jonathan. Just so you
I said nothing. I said nothing bad about Joe Flacco. Let's just clarify.
Nothing bad about just poor Lamar.
Yeah, just ripped him, but that's okay.
Yeah. Now, granted, Lamar has 2 MVPs and he can't win a playoff game. That's a little disheartening. You know what he needs? Fuel.
There you go.
That's
Did anybody actually know that was there? Because I didn't even know that was there till I saw it.
Ben, you were
that's because you got there late.
40 minutes late, Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
We went over that in the intro there, Ben.
Ben was there before I was there. So I give Ben credit. I got there, an hour and a half late?
Yeah, but you and I had one of those drinks.
What was it?
It was announced. Yeah.
It was like a rum old fashioned.
Oh, I wouldn't have drank then.
A rum Manhattan. Rum Manhattan is what it was. It was really good, actually.
It was good.
Yeah, you know what's better than that? Whiskey. You know what's better than that? Rum.
I wish I tried the Flacco.
I like that I got to drink a lot of whiskey for free while I was there, albeit in very small sample portions.
Eric, you were there?
Eric was there.
Eric was having life on the patio.
Yeah, we saw him for like 3 minutes.
Right.
I know.
Well, that's because he had a 2-hour cornhole game outside in the courtyard when everybody else was drinking.
It's because he had
that is not an exaggeration. That's exactly how long it took.
Yeah, look. When you're playing cornhole with Dusty Day and you take your time.
What do you call that? One of these with the chain.
Eric, I saw a lot of you.
I agree with Commandante Lou. Patriots fans are not as bad as Red Sox fans. I would agree with that. I agree with that.
Red Sox.
I'm used to my one-on-one time with Eric. You got to.
That's
why I am like almost everybody else knows how to pronounce his name.
Hey, Jigs, how about some support here with the Boston teams, buddy? We got to talk crap about the Boston Celtics because they just won the title yesterday.
I do have to say, when I come down for the Mashing Journey, I think it's in Bardstown. Sean and I are going to live it up. I have a hotel room down there. It's going to be. You're going to have to hold us back.
When is that?
I think it's in September.
September 27th, I think, or something like that.
Hate crime news.
I can't promise that Bardstown will still exist after that day, but
look, I don't. Celtics fans, Bruins fans, nothing against them. I like it. It is Patriots and Red Sox are.
So Red Sox fans up in New England, right? It's either diehard, like you say, crazy Red Sox fans, or it's the Pink Hats. It's all the people who are just like it's fun to go there. All the yuppies go there. It's literally split between old world fans and people who don't know it's baseball.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
And
I spent some time up there. My wife lived in Boston for a little while because she went to BU, and it's an interesting city. It's a nice. Every city's got their pockets where it's like, wow, this is a great place to hang out. Where maybe you don't hang, but
it's gentrified. It's changed so much.
Not at Newkirk Street, okay?
Not Newkirk.
Boston doesn't really
right
have
now.
any. Boston doesn't really have any bad unsafe spots anymore. It's
that's what they call the bull shite.
Okay.
Cheers, Saucy.
Ben
Hey,
might
good night,
find the
Saucy. Thanks, buddy.
Good night, Saucy. I think Ben might find the one and only liquor store, in the hood.
And any road in Boston you could die on very easily, just because of the drivers.
Yeah, you're gonna get hit by a Brinks truck bringing money to the rich people. You're
Yeah.
right.
So Andy, to cycle back to one of my earlier comments, Boston is white in a not good way.
There you go. I like it.
We're in a safe space.
We'll let you go for another couple seconds, Sean, and then we're going to cut you off again.
I'll come in full circle.
I'm pointing out the obvious here. We all know what I mean.
Do we? Why don't you explain it to us? No, don't.
No,
do
no,
not going to do that. Not going to do that.
Let's not do that either. Let's just say thank you to Sean again for the fourth time tonight. And
Andy, you're such a good human.
oh,
I don't know about that, Jonathan.
and then now the fifth time. Where's the freaking mute button for this guy?
Oh my god.
No, it's all good. All good. I'm just joshing with you there, Sean. And by the way, I did get to wear his hat at Barflies. That was
this
right.
proof.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah. How does it fit? It's very comfy on my head, but I have a giant head, so.
No, if I come out to when we set this thing up for that Tennessee meet and greet, I'll cowboy hat up with you.
There you go. Yeah.
I have one back.
I was disappointed, Andy, that I did not come to the pick with the cowboy hat, but that was only because I didn't know where my car was. So yeah.
Well, folks, he's not exaggerating.
Sorry, buddy. My bad.
It's a great shot.
Hey, great shot. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Mark?
Guys, I'm gonna hop off. I gotta take care of some stuff. Have a good night.
Hi, Jonathan.
All right, Jonathan.
Congrats there,
Cheers,
Celtics.
buddy.
Good to see you, Jonathan.
See you, Jonathan.
See you, man. Oh, look at that. It's looking groovy. What's going on, buddy?
Hey,
He would have had a
groovy.
great time this weekend.
Yeah.
I've had a couple beers with him and Mark. You guys have had a blast this weekend.
Yeah. When you can come back to my neck of the woods and visit again.
I'll be in Austin. I'll be in Austin this year, so I'll definitely look you guys. That'll be the third time we've gotten together and had a couple sips. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it, man. Looking
Heck
forward
yeah.
to it.
Always.
Joe.
I'll see if I can have you an extra bottle of something you can take home with you.
Well, you got to stop sending everything to Todd. Okay, this is the problem. You know, he doesn't always tell me until after the bottle arrives. So so this got released, and Mr. Great Shot sent it to me. It's like, well, he's got my number, and you skipped right by him on your trip to Texas, Todd, and didn't even bother to hang out.
I know. Next time bottle I get, I'm sending it to Andy.
I'm just saying.
That port that port finish one, get you pour you up a little sample bottle or something of that. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, it was really good. Yeah,
I was really surprised about that one myself.
Yeah,
but that one actually, you could have bought a bottle of that.
There you go. Look at that. Hold it up, Tim. Hold it up, Tim.
Here we go. I still got some more to go on it.
No, I love it. There we go.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I hear it's okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
but that I didn't know it, but that the port finish one was a release that was online, and you're supposed to have bought the bottle online and then pick it up at the distillery.
That's good.
But I got lucky. I didn't do that. I went down to the distillery, and they were like, "Well, we had 10 bottles when we first opened up an hour ago, and there were 5 left." So I picked up a few. That was it.
No, Todd's a better salesman than he is. He's quick on the finger with the replying to people, and like half the time when you get stuff in the chat, like I'm just not that fast getting that stuff. Like he's so I give him credit. He beats me to the punch. He gets it sometimes. So that's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll be back in Austin soon. I do love hanging out at and maybe we'll pick somewhere other than St. Elmo's this time. Maybe we'll go to a different brewery or something. But St. Elmo's does good stuff.
Yeah, there's another one just up 290. Just down the road. I mean, it's probably 2 miles from there.
It's called 290.
No. I don't remember the name of the distillery. It's not a distillery. It's a brew house. But there's quite a few of those around. St. Elmo is really good.
St. Elmo's is good,
and it's right there. So
Well, speaking of which, I know we all loved Old Line. What did you guys think of the beers from Monument? Did you guys enjoy them?
Porter was good.
It made me sleepy.
The porter was good. Yeah.
Yeah, the porter is good. Anybody try that? You guys are not. I'm thinking you guys are not IPA people, are you?
Mm. I'm an IPA person. I just wasn't there.
I got it. I got 2 of them.
Did you try the Simply AJ?
No, I got wasn't it the rye finished in the 151? Or no, that was what was finished in the Old Line rye barrels.
Was that the Rye 51? Is that their quote unquote famous one or whatever?
Yeah, the Rye 51 is a rye IPA. So that's really good. The one they had that was new for the season was the Simply AJ, the Adam Jones beer, which is kind of quasi hazy, but it was kind of like a West Coast with like a lot of citrus and stuff. It was actually really good. They do good beers. Thank you.
Hey, due to popular request, I'm going to mute myself. I'll be back in a minute.
What's going to be in the barrel from Old Line? Did they tell you yet what they're going to put in there?
I don't know. Here's ideally what we haven't done this yet. What I would love to do. So like we did one with Heavy Seas. The Still Austin went into their 27th anniversary Belgian ale, which was really good. So that rested in that for a few months, and they had a release party. We got to taste that, and it was fantastic. But what I'd love to do is to have Todd and I come up with a recipe and do it on a small barrel system at one of these distilleries, so we can help them with that process, because it doesn't take long to make a beer. But then we can dump it right into the barrel, and then let that.
That would be pretty cool.
That's what we would love to do, to be honest with you. So that's kind of one of our goals is like kind of create our own beer with a brewery, and then put one of our single barrels, have it rest in that, and then turn it into another party. Like invite people down, be like, okay, here you go. We're having the 21090 beer party here, and yeah. So we have ideas for it, but that's on our checklist of things we'd like to do.
Do you have a good recipe for like say like a stout or something like that y'all have made before? Yeah, we actually, Todd and I used to brew a lot, and we both we josh each other about we josh each other a lot about who's the better brewer, but Todd makes really good lagers. He does a good job with that. I think I like my IPAs, and I do a really good pumpkin beer because I'm not a big pumpkin fan, but the Pour Some Pumpkin on Me, ironically, is a great beer. So
But yeah, we have a bunch of different recipes we've tried that were really good. When we first started brewing beer, it sucked. It was bad. Like our friends drank it. We went to like the Pittsburgh Ravens games just to be nice, and then they all had diarrhea in the morning and just felt like crap. Like it wasn't.
Question for you. Beer question. IPA is what? India Pale Ale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that's not very hoppy.
Oh.
It is hoppy. Those are the
hoppy.
Those are the hoppy ones. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm not much on the hoppy stuff. I do like the darker like stouts and porters.
Yeah.
And no, that bitter hoppy note is just not my fave.
Well, we're they've done some IPAs rested in barrel aged beers. I don't think they come out very well. So whatever we would rest in it, we would do something like a stout or a porter or like a Belgian or something like that. So it would be more your style anyway.
Or an ale.
But they age really well. It's like stouts and porters particularly age really well in bourbon barrel aged beers.
Yep.
And you can age them for a while. Like there's some who was I talking to that went to Drug City and got the liquid assets from Jailbreak? It was one of our top beers of all time. And so we found a couple and picked up a few. Like they're fantastic if they're done right. So yeah, they're good stuff. But yeah, I would love to do that. I mean, we'll throw a party and have it. It'll be fun.
Heck yeah.
Is there a question for you? Is there easier beer to brew? Is it porters and stouts easier than IPAs, or is it just the same process?
Lagers take longer because they have to rest for a while. IPAs, you can turn around in a couple weeks. So and that's the one thing about beers. If you make a batch and it sucks, you just do something different. Whereas you're talking wine or whiskey, like you're stuck with what you got. So you got to pay a lot more attention to detail on some of those things. So it's interesting. But
yeah, I had my one of my cousins and my grandfather actually used to make a lot of wines. My grandfather made a really cool watermelon wine, and then my cousin made a fantastic honeysuckle wine. But he said that the honeysuckle wine took him about like 3 years of aging to get it to where it needed to be at. And he gave me one bottle of it, and it was fantastic. I mean, it was just, the nose was honeysuckle, that little slight, sweet flavor to it and everything else, pale straw color. It was beautiful. It's a great wine.
Oh, I'd love to try that. No, you know me. I'm a sucker for wine. We talked a lot of Patreons this weekend too about the wine weeks. Once we get the schedule for our releases for when things are coming out, we'll do the wine weeks back to back. We'll do a white wine week and we'll do a red wine week.
I'm a red wine guy.
I'm waiting for a beer stream.
A beer stream?
Beer stream?
Yeah.
No. That's on the list too. Ben, I had no idea we had all that stuff. Again, I had no clue.
You were standing there when I gave it to you guys.
Was it?
I actually gave it to you in the parking lot of Jimmy's.
I probably gave.
Last time.
Oh yeah, I didn't remember being at Jimmy's last time. So that was.
I was a good influence this time, wasn't I?
I think I drove you home that time too.
I think you did. So. But yeah, we'll do that soon too on the beer show. I can't wait to try that. I wish we did more stuff. The beer's hard. It's tough to do because it's just so regional. It's tougher to do. I would like to do more, but that's why we love November when Goose Island's Bourbon County Stout drops, because it's fun. We can just drop what we're doing and just throw our attention to that, and people love it, and it's fun, and it's a niche. It's cool. It's fun.
Like you're saying, as far as regional goes, it was. I think it was last year or the year before we finally got Yingling here in Texas, because it was East Coast only. It didn't come this far.
I don't think
it's the oldest distillery around.
I don't know if you're missing out too much with Yingling.
Yeah, I don't understand. Anybody off the East Coast loves Yingling, and on the East Coast we really don't care that
it's okay. It's like Rolling Rock or something. I say it's okay, but it's not that great.
I agree. If you're in a pinch, you need a beer, but it's definitely not my go-to. But it's a cool brewery tour, and it's got a lot of history, and so it's neat.
Yeah.
But all right, gentlemen. Well, I tell you, I think we're gonna let's it's 10:45. So call it a night. Again, thank you to all of you for coming, and it was just an amazing event. It really was. Stay tuned, everybody. We got a lot more coming on the Corbin Cash. The 9.5 year was dumped and bottled. Next week, the 8 year hazmat's getting dumped and bottled. We are days away, I'm hoping, from Still Austin Rye, the first rye they've released. So we're a lot of good stuff coming. Of course, we picked a killer bottle all together at Old Line. So you guys rock. Thank you very much. And little fellow Todd, thinking about you, praying everything.
That's to him and his family.
Yeah, man. Prayers up, brother.
We're thinking about you. But yeah, we'll see you guys all next week. What should I take us out with?
Cheers, everybody.
Yeah.
See you guys. Thanks a lot. It was a great week.
See you next Tuesday.
Let's do this from Joe. You know what? Let's do this just for fun. See you guys next week.
Welcome back, folks. It's your host, Washed Up Slash, and you're back on Hot Rock 96.69. You know how we do, and we got some fantastic news for you. That's right, the greatest YouTube channel of all time has done some barrel picks for us. Oh, you know I'm talking about 21090. Let's get to it. All right, so first off, first barrel pick coming out of 21090, we got the Prideful Oats. That's right, this is an 84-year-aged bourbon. It's then blended with oatmeal. It tastes like burnt wood and wet oatmeal that's 84 years old. This is oatmeal just like your grandma used to make, and it's as old as your grandmother approved. All right, moving on. Next up, we got Bland Tums, and that's right, folks, the name says it all. This is a super smooth, super mellow, nearly tasteless bourbon. Then we take Tums and dump them right in the barrel. Oh yeah, tastes like burnt chalk. Oh, so delicious. And that finish is just so chalky. Reminds me of the schoolyard. That's right, folks. If you want to get wasted while also fighting heartburn, this is the drink for you. Last up, but certainly not least, we got Cracker Mark. And this is a super ultra premium, mega ultra reserve, very limited, super small batch, never going to be found again. Booze-scotcha yak. That's right. This is finished in Cracker Barrels in a Cracker Barrel. Let me tell you, this finish will never go away. It's the longest lasting finish you'll ever have. It'll probably ruin your dinner. That tired taste is going to be still sticking around. Okay, folks, those have been the latest barrel picks from 21090, the greatest YouTube channel in the world. And just remember, folks, Def Leppard rocks.